Go, go, go!
Come on,
Come on, come on! Go, go, go! Fire, fire! Artillery! Take cover! Hello? Artillery! Cover, take cover! Cover everybody! Rocket launcher! Free black plus! Fire!
Sergeant, we have located a command post near your position. There's a commando unit in a shelter to the north directing artillery fire. To reach the objective, they need to cross a bridge near your position. Over and out.
This is great. That's a real control. Look, this is the bunker. They have a hard machine gun. Go, go, go.
What are the orders, sir?
They have discovered the bunker. The artillery is not respond. Break the heavy machine gun.
Okay.
Good afternoon. We begin these new editions with the most important headlines of the day. Breaking news. Following the growing wave of armed protest across various technates in Europe, the European Development Forum, together with the Globalist Union for Advances and the Anti-Insurrectionary Group, has begun implementing contained measures and necessary actions to calm the situation and prevent a possible war in Europe. Different fascist groups are remaining, and breaking news reports indicate that Siberian chemical bomb explosions have affected various operation bases and civilian cities. Carried out by terrorist group called White Ghost. These explosions have occurred in many cities in Moscow, Commonwealth, and across Europe, prompting an increased alert response from the technocracy army. These chemical bombs are creating significant danger and escalating international tensions over the weaponry used in these conflicts. There are reports of extremism with weapons such as nuclear bombs and EDM bombs. Deployments were integrated following the arrest and trial of the general who ordered airstrikes to counter armed operations in Ukraine. This has fueled the rise of fascist groups in Europe, giving rise to a very dangerous and extremist nationalist movement called European Restoration Front. This uprising are occurring in various parts of Europe, such as Germany under Western European Technate government. aiming to unify Berlin and a new Germany. The group, known as Storm Rider, has begun supporting the cause of eternal rule, passing for a want to separate it from the globalist Union for Advances. Similar cases have emerged in different regions of Turkey and the Committee of the East, as well as in Technate, the Technocracy Republic of Mediterranean and the Western European Republic in areas formed France. Therefore, residents are urged to remain alert and prepare for any type of wartime scenario. Bunkers will market with alarms, both digitally if possible and through city alarms, to guide civilians to shelters and the to refugee corridors. The public is also advised due the increasing military operation in Europe and the threat to various cities under artillery fire from the technocrats to their armed dissidents, to exercise caution and evacuate immediately from affected areas. Civilians are reminded to familiarize themselves with emergency supplies, gas masks, and first aid procedures. We will now discuss groups with collapse-oriented tendencies, as the intensified war in fueling extreme movements worldwide, including eco-terrorist groups, dangerous sects, and collapse-oriented and anti-technology cults. Examples include Atomic Reborn and Red Column, inspired by White Ghost actions, who not only detonate chemical bombs but also carried out cyber attacks of November 18, causing autonomous peacekeeping units to attack civilians. Now we saw a kidnapping and the threat recording directed at CEO of a technology advances company in Africa. Surveillance cameras inside his home captured him while either in his room. The footage is from the perspective of one of kidnappers. The images are very graphic. Viewer discretion is advised.
No. How are you? Please, no.
Humanity has been led to his own destruction for falling prey to the monster of capitalism and technocracy. Here we have one of those who claim people under unnecessary yoke, turning them into slaves and machines. Here we have captured and pitted against war and other, leaving ingenuity in the dirt, always rotten because of people like this. Throw in your face. Humanity must be cleansed and liberated. The purge begin now. Join our cause, or you will be cleansed. Like this fucker.
The footage just shown is very disturbing and calls on civilians to join an extremist group. Citizens of the Global Union for Advances are reminded that joining any of these extremist paramilitary groups will be considered treason. Punishment include imprisonment, neutralization, or assignment to re-education and transhumanization centers for community service within the Global Union for Advances. This concludes this segment. Now we're going to watch another extortion video.
I think they came from the towns. You should check it out.
I will check. I will check it. I hear something. Enemies! Attack!
Motherfucker. After you.
I cover you! I cover you! I need cover!
In other news, we observe numerous images of the conflict unfolding in Europe and the Moscow Commonwealth, where European revanchist or nationalist groups, including neo-Soviets, take refuge, abduce civilians, and fight against democratic law enforcement forces. They also attack generals, forcibly recruit civilians, and assault UGA defenses and arrangements. The brutal war continues in images we see from the Moscow Commonwealth, where many groups shelter in old bunkers built by the corrupted company called Polytechnian Fornica Industries. Multiple neo-Soviet revanchist groups, including one called the Continental Commune, carry out guerrilla warfare in the city's underground areas, using biological weapons and encountering unknown groups. These groups attack and hide in subterranean locations, including sewers and metro systems of major cities, where civilians are forced to take refuge due to the bombings and the use of dirty bombs deployed by white ghosts. The escalation situation has drawn American volunteers to join the ranks of European separatist groups, resulting in American casualties. This may lead to a long-term conflict with the new rising government of Colombia, victorious in the civil war, which has already forced the withdrawal of UGA interventionism militants. The UGA accuses the European Restoration Front of using biological and chemical weapons, including chemical gases and biological viruses affecting civilian populations.
Hello everybody, and hi Colombia, welcome back to another informative. Breaking news, the Eastern enemy does it again. And yes, we are not talking about a riddle. We are talking about the UGA, who is accused to use chemical bombs against the American troops and the protesters for the American manifestations. The RNP and Colombia will report these attacks as a war crime from part of the UGA. Meanwhile, the Radiation Corps and the Reformist Alliance will investigate the origin of these chemical weapons. In other news, due to the rising international tensions between UGA and Colombia, the European Front, against of being negotiating in South Africa, the War Peace for Resistance to resist the control of use of nuclear weapons. These agreements will limit their use to urban or civilian environments, isolated areas, and only within military managed settings, such as factory or military bases.
Listeners of the world, hear the truth that will be revealed. It is neither the UDA nor Colombia. There is a third party benefiting from this, the one responsible for the weapons that poison your people, and we have come to their name is.
The European Development Forum has launched a new project called New Horizons, aiming for colonial space expansion, establishing lunar bases for civilian refugees, and deploying armed military satellites. This sparks a new space race and war in the skies not seen since Korea's victory in the first space race against the US. Concurrently, the European Development Forum, following bio-Vedic nationalism, seeks alliances and mediation between eco-terrorist and anti-technocratic groups, such as the Atomic Reborn and the neo-Luddite groups like Modern Matrix, or the primitivist initiate to prevent further armed conflict and the spread of extremist or religious ideologies. The Transhumanist Party has also become prominent in Asia, where religious groups oppose to the technology. This increases the votes for the Transhumanist Party globally, prompting confrontations and debates with conservative humanism, who advocates for greater human intelligence in control and strategy on the new European front. The party also pursues creating cyber soldiers through transhumanization and strategy centers, raising concerns about potential new hacking risks against the civilians. So Daniel, we will now examine one possible cause of the civil war currently affecting Europe. It seems that the starting point was the Miners' Revolution in Africa, in the Confederation of Democratic African States, known as the Miners' Revolution. It led to the ongoing and growing economic crisis, the rise of different ideologies, partly due to the economic crisis and losses in the Second US Civil War and the South American War. This has fueled the uprisings and the growth of American insurgent groups. The extreme anti-insurrectionists response in Ukraine, including airstrikes on civilians, led to the trial of the military leader responsible but did not count the population, resulting in videos of extremists online promoting arms and dangerous ideologies, such as the cult of chaos. These are among the possible causes of rising armed revolutions in Europe.
Wow! I also consider the ancient nationalists promoted by groups aiming to resurrect fascism a major social threat. Examples include White Ghost, a Russian nationalist group opposing the Moscow Commonwealth and technocratic intervention in the Soviet Civil War. This also leads the resurrection of anarcho-communism and neo-Soviet groups in the Moscow Commonwealth, operating via underground routes believed connect with the Central Asian Republic.
That's a good point.
We also report on the mercenary group Thor, believed to found extremist neo-Nazi and fascist group in Europe. White continually spread anti-UDA propaganda online. These threats are also raising the potential for conflict between the Pacific Agreements and the Central Asian Coalition, the Continental Community, and the Order of the Riders, neo-Nazi parties with apocalyptic and chaos cult ideologies, along with radical Islamist and neo-Babylonian groups in Turkey and parts in Arabia.
Good morning, Last News. It has been reported that the home of Mendoza, one of the most prominent members of the Bolivian Pact for National Liberation and leader of the Mendoza anarchist group, which led Venezuela, was attacked allegedly by wild animals. Mendoza's body has not yet been found. It is believed that the wild animals entered through ventilation duct. The Mendoza hit the wall. Has prepared for technical of viral attacks. No bullet catching, hotel or scene of armed confrontation or shooting have been reported. Afog Mendoza was among Colombia's most wanted drug trafficker. There is evidence to accuse of a more attempted murder. Next news, the Brazilian government has severed it with the Global Union for Advancement due to the clause in the White Peace Agreement signed with the Quinto Alliance during the Great South American War, that preventing any kind of relationship or intervention by Brazil in future conflicts and ensuring that Colombia avoids a new front. It also mentioned the withdrawal of used troops.
God leaves the sacred army of Ahmed the Emir Aslam, who will guide us to the construction of the Ottoman Babylonian Caliphate. Here and now, we support the punishment of the war and the holy war against Europe. Today, we will do justice, avenging the blood of our brothers in Africa by taking it from those who took it. Don't be forbid. Don't wither democracy. Death to the KGI. Fire!
Hail America! This is our time. The globalists of the US step on our territory, and now they must pay for what they've done. It's our time to take over Europe. They will fall before they might of the American people, of her virtue, of her glory. I send my full support to the volunteers and the Navy standing on the Pacific fronts. Let them know we won't back down for anything. I declare the war for the Globalist Union for Advances. Glory to Colombia. Hey Colombia!
Do you think this is going to take us somewhere?
If you don't have nothing, you won't be free. Americanism or globalism.
Europeans are killers and represent extremism.
Colombia will be the global race.
The UDA is enemy of democracy.
The democracy is the only way for peace. We will liberate the world from these villains.
The revolution has begun.
The UDA is the salvation of the world and humanity. It will be our freedom.
Let's make a new world, communist of the world. Fight now.
The transhumanization is based on Nazi experiments.
Peace is not control.
If you touch their families, you take their families, you attack the families.
There is no world without someone ruling it.
They are controlling us with IAS.
You dominate with force and we don't show mercy.
America is under attack.
Kill the cyborgs for the good of humanity. They run away and they left us behind.
The latter will take revenge for these sins of humanity. Her people and her victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, the war has begun. Colombia has entered the war in support of the European Restoration Front, directly invading the Northern Africa coast and Southern Democratic Republic of Iberia. Meanwhile, the TDO, or what remains of it, via the Pacific Agreement, has launched a war against the heart of the Global Advanced Union in parts of Asia and a naval invasion towards Japan, heading directly through Korea. Nuclear bombs are being used on flat areas of Europe, targeting civilian settlements. Civilians are advised to seek shelters immediately. Armed groups and the UGA are mounting military operations to respond to simultaneous attacks. Additionally, mercenary groups such as the Steel Grains are developing force to suppress uprising in Africa. God bless the humanity.